Now here is an Inside the Eye feature from our global friendly outlet sources exclusively picked for Blue Eye Media. Learn the truth behind what mainstream and opinion outlets will never say. Get the inside facts of this chronicle.
If there's anything you watch today, make sure it's these clips of Governor Gavin Newsom during a summit held by Politico yesterday in California. During his appearance, he blew Donald Trump's plans wide open, exposing all of his secret goals, his secret plans with everything that he's doing in his administration, really putting Trump on the back foot. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a clip where, for the first time, I believe publicly, Gavin Newsom reveals what leaders around the world who have met with him are saying about Donald Trump behind his back. Now, before we get into all these clips I'm going to show you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, comment down below, let me know what you think about everything going on in America right now, and of course this video. Let's dive in. Now, of course, Governor Gavin Newsom has continued to troll Donald Trump. I've been following this saga on this channel for quite some time, the brutal trolling that Gavin Newsom and his team are doing of Donald Trump. For example, you have this tweet the other day where they ratioed Donald Trump's senior advisor, Stephen Chung. He said, "No panicins, Donald Trump will always save the day," regarding Cracker Barrel keeping their logo the same. And then the Governor Gavin Newsom account, the press office account, ratioed them in 34 minutes, meaning that their comment, their reply, got more likes than the original post by Donald Trump's senior advisor. And they're pointing this out on their page. They are continuing the trolling of Donald Trump. But Gavin Newsom got serious here. Putting the trolling aside, putting the mocking aside, the merchandise aside, Gavin Newsom is sounding the alarm here. And I think it's a really good place to start with this clip of him talking about Donald Trump not believing in free and fair elections, not only trying to cheat in 2026, but trying to stay in office beyond 2028. This clip's important. Take a look.
You're not saying you think Republicans are going to stop it?
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
Don't give me... who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house?
So
this is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No, this guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections. He tried to wreck this country. Were you there, January 6th? I think Fox was. At least they were in a lawsuit. They seem to have lost any memory of that. Shareholders didn't. I mean, he tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight. And people say, "Oh, it's just Trump being Trump."
This is such an important clip. And it's almost frustrating to watch. And I don't mean to be critical of the crowd. I don't mean to be critical of the moderator. But they're kind of like joking, right? The moderator is saying, "Oh, it's going to be Trump, Gavin Newsom in 2028. The crowd is laughing at what Gavin Newsom is saying. And it's humorous. I understand. But this is serious, right? This is not a joke. When we talk about Donald Trump trying to subvert democracy, it's not just, as Newsom said, Trump being Trump. It's not just like something that we accept in America. This has never happened before in American history, where we have a current president of the United States with the constitutional restriction on serving more than 2 terms, as long as that's been in place, flirting with the idea of running for a 3rd term and anointing themselves king. And by the way, not even having the election altogether. Donald Trump keeps talking about, in some of these countries that they get into a war, they don't have elections. Maybe I should be a dictator. I'm stopping all this crime. He's being serious. This is not a game. It's not something to laugh at. It's not a joke. This is real. This is what Donald Trump is doing. And I appreciate Governor Newsom getting up on the stage and saying, we got to take this seriously. We got to keep our eyes on the prize here and understand that all these different moves that Donald Trump is making build up to what Newsom believes, what I believe, and what I think you at home believe, his ultimate goal of subverting democracy, not only in 2026, but in 2028 as well. Here's another one, which I thought was a really important clip from Gavin Newsom for you to see, where he talks about Donald Trump, and I think this caption perfectly encapsulated it, Trump being the most damaging individual in our lifetime. And look, I'm 22 years old. I can safely say that in the United States of America, Donald Trump is by far the most damaging individual in my lifetime, likely in yours as well. Let's take a look.
It's made me more resolved, even more focused. I didn't hear much of that at the last panel, but I did hear Jim mention the recall. That's pretty clarifying. A lot of finality in that. A lot of humility in that. You don't come out of a recall campaign the same. I came into that recall campaign still arguing that all politics is local. I still had a romantic notion of that. I intellectualized that a lot of our politics and the discourse was national. I didn't fully appreciate how nationalized our politics have become. In so many ways, that shape-shifted a lot of what we're doing and who I am today. But this last year, these last 6-7 months, this is something altogether different. And I'm on the other side of any kind of hesitancy that I had prior. I'm on the other side of giving a damn about people's feelings about this moment. I will express myself more clearly and more concisely because I see the threats in very vivid terms in ways I never saw before. And I see the consequences of not just those threats from the administration, but the actions of this administration, more perhaps than any other governor in the United States, because I've seen the damage firsthand to communities, this economy, our reputation, to our allies, the world we're trying to build. This is simply the most destructive and damaging individual in my lifetime that happens to be the President of the United States, and I need to be held to a higher level of accountability as governor. So in every way, shape, or way, I have changed, and I also, as a father, as a caregiver, recognize that ultimate judgment will come from them. And even myself, when I'm done, I have to meet this moment. And so, yeah, this has been very clarifying. It's been very sobering.
This is the energy. This is the energy that we need against Donald Trump. Elected officials saying, hey, we got to meet this moment. This is not the time as an elected official to back down to Donald Trump, to bend the knee and let him do what he wants, because it's the same old, the parenting philosophy. When you let the kid get away with it, when you let them do what they want and give in to the kid, they'll continue to do it. Sometimes you got to play tough parent. Sometimes you got to play tough governor. Sometimes you got to play tough elected official. And all these different precedents that we have where you work with the president on this, you work with the president on that, those precedents no longer stand when the guy that's currently in the Oval Office is breaking every single norm and rule, breaking the law almost on a daily basis as president of the United States, unsurprisingly as a 34 convicted felon. That's got to go out the window. And so Gavin Newsom is saying here that his thinking has evolved. He's changed as an elected official. There is no more we just got to come together and kumbaya and we all have fun. There's no more of that in Donald Trump's America. There was that in Joe Biden's America. Joe Biden got Republicans to vote for infrastructure, for gun control, for a variety of different plans, veterans health care. That's not the thing that Donald Trump is pursuing in this America. And so if he's taking a different approach, a dictatorial approach to everything he does as president, then folks like Gavin Newsom, Democratic governor's got to step up, and he is stepping up. I can say that with my entire chest, that he is stepping up. He's meeting this moment, and I'm glad that, he's not only changed his thinking, but advocating for others too as well. Now, here's one of the major moments from this I wanted to show you, where Gavin Newsom reveals something pretty stunning that has occurred in his presence, which is he meets with a bunch of world leaders pretty frequently because California is the fourth largest economy in the world. It's essentially its own country, basically, right? And so a lot of world leaders will meet with the governor of California to talk trade, to talk, things like that. And so he's had a lot of experience with worldwide leaders. And he is saying that a lot of these global leaders have confided in him, saying, Donald Trump's a joke. We're laughing at him behind the scenes. Take a look.
I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of foreign leaders. I've had a chance.
What's the general? If not putting.
They're laughing behind his back. That did not happen. Yeah. I'm making this clear. Do not conflate what I just said with the meeting I had with the Denmark delegation.
No, it wasn't them. Other foreign leaders are laughing.
I've had dozens and dozens. Ambassadors met with him.
What are they saying?
They're laughing behind his back. He's being played everywhere. It's an embarrassment.
It is an embarrassment. I mean, all of the, you can look at the polling, right? When Joe Biden was in office, when Barack Obama was in office, the approval rating of not only the United States, but the office of the presidency and the president in America was really high in countries around the world. You saw it in Europe, you saw it in Asia, Africa. People respected the president of the United States. As soon as Donald Trump got in, it cratered. And you can look at the polling, fact check me on this, it cratered. We are laughed at with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. He makes a goddamn fool of himself every day on the world stage. And what Gavin Newsom is saying here is not the first time that an elected official has said something similar. Remember, when Joe Biden was in office, he would often say that world leaders have said to him, you can't let Trump win. You can't let this guy get back into office. This is not right. They confided in him that they were happy that he is the president and Trump was no longer. So really stunning stuff here from Governor Newsom, and I really do think he's meeting the moment, and I'm glad that he's getting out there speaking on these important issues, and I hope he continues to do so. Remember, if you're in California, vote in favor of the maps this November. It's a big deal. I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world that you're here. Make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video. Again, please comment, let me know what you think about this story, and as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Follow Blue Eye Media for exclusive insights and breaking news sources from global-friendly outlets that you won't get from the mainstream TV and radio outlets of America. Learn how to play the flute of the globe and learn the real truth.